Hey everyone, welcome back to my Baldur's Gate Completionist playthrough with SCS. And it's time to finish this. It's time to finish Durlag's tower. Now we just have this last part of it to do. Now that we have learned everything Durlag wanted us to learn about his trials here, and his reasons and all that stuff, we've made these 3 teleportations, I guess, to these 3 rooms with all the plot expositions and whatnot. We have proven ourselves, so now we can talk with this spirit. You will survive this place. You understand what built the hate, the fear. Now you must prevent it becoming worse. A creature below, powerful beyond all, you must remove, or it shall make this place its own. Such a fortress, impenetrable if remade in his image. So if there's evil to be fought, I will defeat it. There's always evil to be thought, within and without. Follow me. So we're going to follow the guy, and he's going to remove a certain barrier for us that was present before. By the way, there was no episode yesterday because, well, I just didn't manage to put it up. But that's kind of like an exception thing. I will generally upload every day, but every once in a while there might be one day without an episode, and if that happens, then, you know, just don't worry. It's not a big deal, and it's not going to happen often. Anyway, now this passage is clear, and we can go inside.
Yes, certainly. There is little I can do here. Why even bother?
And meet Claire. So she's basically the last survivor of a group that was able to reach this far as well. And we can ask her a couple of questions. And basically the story is that she just stopped to recover a little bit after getting injured or wounded, and the rest of her group managed to press forward, and she just heard the screams as this final opponent here disposed of them by using a certain power at his disposal. So those are the only things that we can, I think, ask her before progressing the conversation forward here. Yeah, apparently it's a demon knight, the one that we've seen at the beginning of the game, and at the beginning of Durlag's tower, and now we are going to take revenge for this demon knight ruining our tour of Durlag's tower by showing up and fireballing everyone. Yeah, and we can ask what kind of magic it used to defeat her group, her former companions. And apparently he has a mirror of opposition that makes duplicates of people, and they have to fight those duplicates. And if they fail, they die. If they win, they have still killed their likeness. I have heard that it sometimes drives a person mad, but I never thought there's a slim chance, but I wouldn't survive a second in there. So basically, she suggests that we can use that mirror of opposition on the demon himself, and that's basically, you know, here it basically we can claim to do whatever. Yeah, you roll your dice and you take your chances. We've heard that one before. So yeah, there are basically 2 ways of fighting the demon knight, and I will showcase both of them. Unfortunately, at this time, it's not going to be. This fight shouldn't really be too tough either way. And basically, the first way is to just encounter him directly without messing with the mirror at all. And you know, both of the ways are pretty easy. So, but probably encountering him directly is a little easier, I guess. But I'm going to quick save, show you the direct encounter, and then we're going to quick load and see what happens when we use the mirror. And basically, you know, see the 2 versions of that encounter. First we're going to pre-buff. Oh, we need to use some scrolls for that. I'm going to use protection from evil. I guess we can use a potion of defense on Kiranai. We're going to use a potion of invulnerability on Senashira. And do we have any blesses? Okay, we have one bless and one chant, I guess.
You're a queer fellow.
Imoen doesn't have any... Well, Imoen has scrolls. So she's going to mirror image herself. And then cast haste. And we're going to have also chant and bless. I think that's going to be it. Oh, and Yesla can drink a strength potion. Alright, so here I'm going to quick save, and we're going to approach directly now. And this Demon Knight has very high magic resistance, so either way, I think it's like 85 or something magic resistance, so spells are not going to work on him, really. It's, you know, casting spells on him is just kind of a waste of our rounds. So there is really no finesse in this approach here. The modus operandi basically is to just left click on him and, you know, best him in melee combat. And as you will see, even with like -11 armor class, he's going to land most of our hits on our guys, and he hits very hard. So it's basically just standing in there, hitting him with physical damage, and you know, if someone gets too injured, then just pull them back, you know. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to approach with Jaheira because of the standard reason she benefits or she relies on magical buffs the least. So I think he's going to cast remove magic. He has some spells at his disposal, so he's going to dispel hair, and then we can move in with everyone else. And he says that we served our purpose. And basically the thing is that he wants to make this place his, you know, base of operations. He wants this fortress to himself, and we basically removed all of the traps and stuff that all of the secrets and the surprises that he would have to use his servants, or he would have to, you know, go through that himself. So we basically helped him in that regard. Durlag has built me a fine home, and you have been excellent maid service. Yeah, but he's not going to provide us with any more answers. There's a couple of dialogue options that we can use there.
What? Such
I guess we can.
Wherever fate takes me.
And he's going to cast the dispel on us now.
Yes.
Oh, he didn't actually, because there was only one person near him, so we didn't incentivize him. Simple Death is like a level 7 spell, by the way. We didn't really incentivize him enough to cast dispel magic on us. This should be dispel, or remove magic. But I guess we interrupted his spell. Yeah. Alright. Jaheira might cast a little... Okay, he's dead already. So as you can see, just physical damage with, you know, good buffs to our physical prowess, like, you know, the strength buffs and haste. And that's basically it. I wanted to cast Defensive Harmony to increase our armor class a little bit, because, you know, he did hit quite hard, but he only managed, because he cast those spells, and because Jaheira fortunately, you know, saved against that symbol death. Yeah, he didn't manage to do all that much damage in this little time he spent actually fighting instead of casting spells. But yeah, he did 17 damage to Senashira, I guess, or... Yeah, and 20 damage to Aec'Letec, and that was pretty much it from him, I think. Yeah, so he had a couple messages with magic resistance. That's because we used some magical arrows. Imoen, at least, yeah, uses ice arrows. So yeah, that's basically it. So... that was pretty easy, and I think it's a little bit more interesting to actually use the mirror.
It is done.
But for this, I'm going to position my guys a little bit differently. Let's spread out a little bit. And Jaheira is going to progress as usual. And we can use this one, for example, and to receive a slightly different response from him. Okay, and now we use this mirror here. You foolish mortal, you have exposed us all to the mirror's tainted effects. It is cracked and malfunctions. I will see you long suffering before your death. So basically it will create duplicates of us all, but also a duplicate of the Demon Knight that is going to fight him. So he's going to be busy with that, and we can quickly dispose of our duplicates that are going to, or are already hostile, or are going to turn hostile in a second. So I think we're going to kind of group up. Here's Mirror Fiend of the Demon Knight, and they are going to kind of keep themselves busy. Okay, he wants to. All right, now they're fighting each other. So they have some stuff in their disposal, as you can see. They have potions of defense and stuff like that they can use. But these duplicates aren't really all that challenging either. So there's basically a similar type of thing in Baldur's Gate 2, but those duplicates over there are much more dangerous, and it's kind of a much better fight then. Anyway, let's just focus our fire on the duplicates. Oh yes, like you can actually incentivize the duplicate of Koran not to shoot arrows. And so they can heal themselves, they can drink some potions, but they don't really do too much, and the duplicate of Imoen seems to be really passive for some reason. At least the other ones seem to be fighting. And Jaheira's duplicate is kind of passive. Seems like this fight doesn't function all that well. It's mostly about having the Demon Knight, and I would like to finish him off and receive that 15,000 experience for him. I don't want the duplicate to finish him off and steal our experience, so I am going to put all my guys on to the Demon Knight now. Who did it? Oh, Mirror Fiend did the last hit. Damn it. That's not good. That is really unfortunate. 15,000 experience, we could have used that. Especially people that really need to catch up on experience like Aec'Letec. He could have used a portion of that 15,000, but oh well. So yeah, a little bit more interesting fight, but still very easy at this point. Anyway, he has some notable loot. Yeah, we can have these potions, Scroll of Glitter Dust. Now this is a helmet of changed alignment, so you can change an evil aligned person with it to a good one, and so on, to kind of ease, I guess, your reputation management if you have a mixed alignment party or something like that. There's a large shield +1, I think, and the Soul Taker dagger. That's the dagger we were supposed to retrieve from here all along. And there's also Dalton here. I don't know how he managed to escape the attention of the Demon Knight here, but somehow he survived where all the others died. He managed, I think, to win the fight with his duplicate, and somehow, I don't know, hide here.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out.
Yeah, so we can assure him that, you know, we're not going to do anything to him. We're not opponents. And gotta go now. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Apparently SCS like buffed up these duplicates, but they didn't seem, as you could see, they didn't seem to be too dangerous. Now we can talk to Claire, so at least there is some silver lining to what happened. At least she and Dalton managed to survive, and Durlag's tower got cleansed of all of its evil. The Demon Knight got killed, and there is no danger for such a evil and powerful creature to have Durlag's tower as its fortress. But yeah, as she says, I have heard that such creatures as the Demon Knight serve powerful beings even more evil than they. And if such a thing were possible, well, that's a scary thought.
It is done.
Now we can talk to Islan. There is a presence here no longer. You have killed what could not be. Another intruder that came to take, gone as they should be. Would that the sorrow were lifted as well. He is stubborn, my Durlag. This place will wax and wane in time. Regret will not last forever. You can leave when you wish. I will send you. So yeah, now we have nothing else to do in here, so we can get sent to the surface. Back to the sky and the light with you. Here will stay the ghost of failure, my strong, stubborn Durlag. Let the ages take the weight away, as swiftly as I sent these children. So yeah, Durlag's tower is now completed. Wasn't it an amazing dungeon? You can go both up the tower and then descend into the proper dungeons, and like every level is different, and over the course of the whole adventure we really learn about Durlag and just about everything that happened, all the reasons that this dungeon even exists. It's so immersive, it's so atmospheric, and the gameplay is really good as well, with all of the classic kind of D&D dungeon things like traps, boss fights, and you know, cool encounters in general. A lot of exploration, some puzzles. It just has it all, man. And this is a comment from the NPC Project that Jaheira has some closing thoughts. And we can say something nice to Jaheira for once, I guess. Yeah, so she wants to be useful for the group. Or useful to the group. That's also a reference to one of her voice lines where she says, for the group. Either in BG1 or BG2, I don't remember right now exactly. Anyway, now we are fatigued. And of course, after such an adventure, it would be nice to give ourselves a couple of days of rest, I guess. So we need to go back to Ulgoth's beard with that Soul Taker dagger, but you know, since we're suspicious about that powerful master of the Demon Knight, there might be some surprises awaiting us in Ulgoth's beard. We are going to first stop at the Friendly Arm Inn and rest there, and also identify some stuff.
It is done.
I think Gilana here can identify at least a portion of our equipment.
Must take some time to rest.
Yeah, and I'm going to just use the gold to identify everything. And then we're going to inspect all that in a second. We're going to rest. Recharge, basically. Oh, she can identify everything. That's very nice. Alright, so we're going to rest a little bit to remove fatigue and to heal up, to recharge our spells, and then we're going to go back to Ulgoth's beard. And we're going to inspect the loot in a second and talk a little bit about some of the most notable pieces of equipment that we've managed to acquire.
Certainly.
I've just about seen enough waking hours.
Hello Monteron, hello Dorn.
I am here. Certainly.
We should rest now. I need
Alright,
sleep.
let's check it out. Yeah, Helm of Opposite Alignment. It's a cursed item, but yeah, alignment will become opposite when you're wearing that. That's just a large shield +1. So, oh, we have also these items that we've equipped. Alright, so let's just quickly memorize a couple of identifies. We're going to rest more than once, so it's not a big deal.
My inn is open to all who behave themselves.
So now let's just quickly move these items to Imoen. And that's just this, and we might as well just identify these arrows. And so this was Palin's shield. That's a large shield +2. And that gives a +3 armor class and a little bonus versus missile attacks. And of course we have some arrows +2 on Koran. And this is the Cloak of Protection +2. And this is a Cloak of the Shield. It's basically cast shield on you, but yeah, it's kind of like I think a different version of it where it doesn't protect you against magic missile or something like that. And it gives you a yeah, it's a different kind of version of shield, where it gives you a big bonus towards missile weapons and only +1 versus melee weapons, where a shield spell, the proper shield spell, gives you, you know, an armor class of 4 with an additional +2 bonus versus missile, and also gives you immunity to magic missile. And it lasts for 1 hour instead of 1 turn. And so yeah, we can just keep it on someone. Right, and Imoen also had in her possession the Staff of Striking, and as you can see, it's kind of considered a +3 staff, but it has +9 damage bonus, but it should have charges on it. I'm not sure how it's displayed here in Baldur's Gate. Yeah, it has 20 charges. For some reason it's not displayed here in the inventory. In Baldur's Gate 2 it's going to be displayed like that in the inventory. So, you know, normally it's a pretty good weapon for some situations where you need that extra bit of damage, but really where it shines it's during backstabbing, because, you know, you can use that damage boost for, you know, since it also has charges, so you generally want to use these charges, you know, where it counts. So backstab is one such attack, a powerful attack where, you know, you just want to do as much damage as possible with it. Alright, so here's the Flame Tongue sword, and as you can see it has different types of bonuses versus different types of creatures, and it's also a sword that can damage Karug. As I've mentioned before, it's a pretty good sword in general. Then we have the +3 sling, Arla's Dragonbane. That's very nice, and I think Aec'Letec probably uses a sling more than Jaheira, so he might keep that on. And here's the World's Edge. That's just a standard two-handed sword +3, which, like I said, can be your go-to weapon if you have a two-handed sword user. But, you know, in a lot of situations you're probably going to go back to Spider's Bane anyway. Alright, so we're going to sell most of that. And then here we have the Karaja's Life and Death. It's just a magical leather armor. And here's a mace +2, which if you have a mace user, you know, to get the best type of mace you have to go quite far in the game. You have to go to the last level of Durlag's tower to get your ultimate weapon, which is, you know, kind of unfair, or just, you know, kind of poopy when it comes to different types of weapons. And here's Keel's helmet. It makes you just immune to fear, basically. Then what do we have? You have Keel's buckler that gives you that +1 dexterity. That can be useful in some situations. Then we have, yeah, 6 charges of this Durlag's goblet. Yeah, that fully heals, but for 12 hours you have this very low morale. But if you know, wear Keel's helmet, or if you cast remove fear and stuff, you're just going to counter that effect. Then we have another Rashad's Talon, and one of them should be here, and we should have something like that. Alright, so here's Bala's Axe, the Wizard Slayer, and it basically has a chance, I say chance because there is a save versus spell allowed, to place this 80% spellcasting failure chance on someone. So if this lands, this can be extremely powerful, but it's not a reliable weapon. It also is in Baldur's Gate 2. Okay, so here we have like a really low amount of charges on this Wand of Lightning, and here we have a really high amount of charges, and we can probably sell that as well. We can probably sell this Wand of Fire. We're not going to ever be able to use all of these charges on our wands anymore. Anyway, what else do we have? The Practical Defense, which is a plate mail +3. Still worse, like I said, than a full plate, a non-enchanted one. Although for Wizard Slayer this is probably slightly better. and at least in some situations. Then we have, you know, Keel's Morning Star, the cursed one, because it can cause the wielder to go berserk. Very good Morning Star otherwise. And then we have a Staff Spear, which uses the quarterstaff proficiency. It's still two-handed, it just deals slightly higher damage and piercing damage instead of crushing damage. So this one came from what was her name again? Kirin Hale, that's Succubus, on the upper levels. And I think that's it. I think we're done with everything. So let's just sell all the junk. Well, not exactly junk, but just equipment that we're not going to use. We're going to get some nice amount of space. Oh, here we also had some legit scrolls that I just have to stack. Keel's helmets, I don't know. I might hold on to that one. Staff of Striking, maybe I can have Jaheira use it against a certain opponent in this playthrough. I don't know, it's just a piece of loot that becomes really difficult for me to sell it. Because it's just such a nice item.
My inn is open to all who behave themselves.
Right, now we're just going to quickly switch Imoen's spells to the proper ones. And I'm going to rest one more time. And now we're ready to go. And I think still in this episode we can do one more fight. We're going to go to Ulgoth's Beard, and this fight is actually quite tough, because we're going to get surprised right away, and that means no pre-buffs for us, and we're going to be in quite a difficult situation, and here someone might die, actually. Okay, I'm not talking, of course, about this ambush that these wild dogs managed to set up for us, managed to orchestrate an ambush. But yeah, in this upcoming fight someone might die, we might have some casualties. Alright, so some mysterious guy here, some cult enforcer, and calls us heathens, and he wants Soul Taker. Apparently the dagger holds the focus of all our prayers. Our god may finally return. I must have it. So they are obviously, since we know that the soul of that Tanari, Aec'Letec, is like chained to this dagger, I guess, or it's like held inside this dagger. If we put 2 and 2 together, we know that they are some sort of a cult that wants to bring back Aec'Letec, the Tanari, to this world. So of course, we will never give you the dagger. But somehow he managed to steal it from us. We have lost it now. And an ambush here kind of happens. And we are going to have quite a few different cult opponent types here, so I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on them, because SCS buffs them a lot, actually. So he is just going to teleport out with our dagger. But what we need to worry about now is buffing ourselves up, because this can be quite a tough fight. And we don't have a lot of time, so we need to basically use whatever is going to give us the most impact. So I think for Imoen we need to protect her with mirror images, because they are going to be some backstabbers. They are already here somewhere, because they start out invisible. We also need to switch Koran's armor to this Anceg one, and hopefully he can avoid a backstab or two with that, although his armor class is not that great. Now Kira and I probably should drink a potion of defense and give this bastard sword over to Koran, and I think he is going to use its property, and that dispel invisibility, in a second. Now Aec'Letec is going to cast Holy Smite in a second to hopefully blind some opponents. And Jaheira, what can Jaheira do? We could do Defensive Harmony to give us a better chance at avoiding these backstabs. Or she might just wait and cast a Wand of the Heavens, or maybe actually use her club. And I might allow myself to cast this nice Cold Lightning, because this is probably like the last chance we can get some mileage out of Cold Lightning. Because this is probably like a last major outdoors fight. And Senashira is going to have to drink 1 potion of invulnerability. And we're running really low on those, but you know, we need to keep ourselves protected. We really need to. Now this Cold Enforcer is in a second going to receive a whole lot of pre-buffs, because these ones are buffed up by SCS to become fighter mages, and I think SCS README says that they are supposed to be level 15. I think they are actually level 10 in both classes, but that still means that they have access to level 5 spells and a ton of pre-buffs, and they can actually fight pretty well in melee.
Yes, it is done.
Okay, and in a second we're going to see more of these different types of cult guys.
For the group.
Okay, get your pre-buffs, guy. Dude, okay, now he has pre-buffs, and he also uses a 21 strength potion. So he has Stone Skin, you know, he has improved invisibility, he's minor glow, protection from normal missiles, he even has haste, ghost armor, shield, mirror image, so he has a ton of pre-buffs here. So what we're going to do, he just went invisible from his shadow door, and what we're going to do here is use Koran to quickly cast... Oh, there's another enforcer. Or... well, anyway, let's cast this detect invisibility there.
You've a task?
Yeah, Jaheira might cast this Cold Lightning on these archers here. These cold archers normally are thieves in the base in the unmodded game, but in SCS they are actually fighters, so that gives them more Thaco and more hit points.
What is it?
Okay, let's just focus fire on whoever we can fight here. And I think Aec'Letec is going to cast this Holy Smite on top of us, pretty much, so that these invisible cult assassins, which are fighter thieves who can backstab for triple backstab damage, hopefully some of them get blinded.
I've done had enough.
We should probably spread out a little bit as well. Okay, here they come. They already backstab both Koran and Kiranai. Fortunately, they had very, very low rolls. They can easily backstab you for like 30 damage. Alright. So now this detect invisibility went off.
What now? Need your pantaloons
Okay,
spread?
Jaheira is occupied. Let's just attack who we can here.
My father was a miner, and my mother was a miner before him.
Okay, so they went immediately invisible. The assassins quaffed a potion of invisibility. The archers have potions of freedom.
By your
And Jaheira is going to move forward to kind of tank these guys. There are also these cold guards, which are pretty tough melee fighters that got buffed HP by SCS. Alright, now let's see. One of the assassins is blinded, that's very good. So he shouldn't be too much of a problem when it comes to further backstabs. I don't really know what happened to that Cold Enforcer though. He should be revealed. There's like so much stuff going on. So there should be one Cold Enforcer that of course got all of these buffs. He had Shadow Door, and that should be... he should be revealed by our spell.
I'm gone.
Actually now Imoen might cast haste on us.
You can't live without a little adventure.
What such menial tasks?
And yeah, he should... I was about to say that he should get revealed by our detect invisibility, and we should have a good fight on our hands, because I think these Cult Enforcers also carry Wands of Frost, so they can do some pretty good damage with those. Okay, here he is. So I guess... I think detect invisibility... either he went invisible again after that, because the assassins quaffed the potions of invisibility, or he was somewhere out of range of that spell, like if he was... or I'm just completely wrong and perhaps Shadow Door is not dispelled by that, but I think it should be dispelled. I'll have to like double check that, I guess. Alright, so now he's going to cast either, well, probably Remove Magic or Chaos, so actually we're in a lot of trouble here.
Your concern?
We might try to poison him,
Such menial tasks.
but this is not looking good for us. Koran needs to heal up a little bit. And at least go away. Yeah, chaos on Kiranai, who is already...
Yes?
Yes?
Already, I should have buffed her up with Greenstone Amulet here. Alright, so Imoen, Kiranai, Aec'Letec, and Jaheira are all under the effects of chaos. Koran is dying over here to this cult assassin, and the only one operational, pretty much, is the only person who's still there that we can really do stuff with is Senashira. So I think first we have to save Koran here, because this cult assassin is badly injured. Koran should switch to a melee weapon, and of course Kiranai has his sword. At least Kiranai still seems to be attacking the cult enforcer, so maybe we'll be lucky and we will be able to poison him. Alright, that cult assassin is dealt with. Now we need to take care of this cult enforcer. He's by far the most dangerous opponent right now, because that other assassin is somewhere blinded. Kiranai is dying here to him because he also is a very good fighter. Okay, Senashira got backstabbed by this cult assassin, which apparently is around here. So let's move her a little bit. Maybe she's not going to be able to find Senashira too quickly here. And can we control anyone else? Yeah. Nothing we can do here. We don't even have any of our, spellcasters active, so we can't dispel any effects or anything. We can't buff ourselves up further. Okay, he renewed his mirror images, which is not good. He still is not poisoned, which is real unfortunate. Kiranai should have been able to do something to him, but now she's dead, so she's not going to do. She's not going to be able to do much anymore. You know what we could do also? Let's maybe use one fire breath potion on him. That's going to deal damage to him twice. Okay, this cult assassin found Koran, which is really super bad. Koran, can you go invisible? Nope. You healed. She's not blinded anymore, I think. Come on. Oh, just in time Koran was able to go invisible, but now we have no one who is able to fight except Senashira. So let's direct this flame beam. Whoa, that is some damage. Direct this flame beam over this assassin. We need to get rid of her. Okay, it seems like Jaheira, in the meantime, while being under the effects of chaos, she was able to deal with this cult archer and this cult guard. So that's very good. And now we have this one guy, Cold Guard, in between Jaheira and the Aec'Letec, so perhaps they are going to also attack him and maybe deal with him in the meantime. Alright, Imoen actually shot this chicken. How could you? How could you have done such a thing? Just shoot this innocent chicken. Alright, Koran needs to heal up a bit. Still invisible. He went invisible just in time. I don't want to go with Senashira in even near Aec'Letec or Jaheira, so as to not incentivize them to attack Senashira. But what we can do is deal with this archer, and I know that this cult enforcer is somewhere around here. Unfortunately, of course, we don't have Jaheira's... Oh, she escaped into this building. We of course don't have Jaheira's invisibility purge to uncover this guy, but he did something, I think, while I was in the... Okay, he wanted to charm Jaheira. And Jaheira is now attacking him. Very good, Jaheira. Very good. Even while under the effect of chaos, you have some... You know what to do. Okay, now we are... Jesus Christ, I think we need a potion of invisibility on Aec'Letec to get him out of trouble here. Because he has literally 2 HP. Alright, help yourself there, bro. And let's use a wand of the heavens on this guy. Alright, and let's go, go, go. Let's fight. Now we need some spells again at our disposal. So we might place Koran somewhere out of trouble and start shooting this guy. Alright, just a Melf's Acid Arrow on Jaheira, that's not a big deal. She's going to be able to heal later. And we can try to paralyze this guy. It didn't work, but we can actually shoot him with our arrows +1. Alright, Jaheira is taking quite a bit of damage from this Cold Enforcer, and I think that Cold Guard might have contributed a little bit. Nope. She needs to heal badly, and she needs to get out of here. And what bullets do you have? Bullets +1. Okay, those are good. Yes, Lick might be able to just maybe blind this Cold Guard. Oh, and now Minor Globe actually expired from this guy, so we might be able to do some Holy Smite damage to him. As you can see, this Cold Enforcer was basically like a boss here.
You've attacked?
You're a queer fellow.
Aren't those Cold Guards evil? Even if they saved, they should have taken some damage, I think. Oh, yes, look, you know what? Just keep yourself at a distance.
Nature's servant awaits for the
Whew. Alright. So, the initial fight with these guys,
Certainly.
we are successful. Although not without some heavy bruises and not without casualties, but we've managed to do it. And, yeah. Also, another fortunate thing is that while we were under the effects of chaos, we didn't manage to attack any of the townsfolk and make them hostile and suffer any reputation penalties. You know, whenever you're under the effects of like confusion, while there are innocents around, you know, only this poor chicken suffered Imoen's wrath while she was under the effects of that spell. Anyway, we're massively over time, although this might be something for the lack of, you know, yesterday's episode. At least today's one is a little longer. Anyway, we're going to continue from here in the next one. So I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this last fight at least, and I'll see you next time.